Welcome to another RS Wave special video. Now, basically in this video, I'm going to explain how I see the next at least 10 years unfolding in the markets and what it will mean for what's ahead. Okay. Now, in this video, I'm just going to have to say that I'm not a financial advisor and this is just my ideas. I've been studying the markets for quite a while. I started off creating RS Wave, took about 6 years. And then last year, I started bringing the ideas forward. And during that time, I have been increasing my knowledge. Most recently, I have become very interested in cryptos and how they affect the general market and how they're a missing piece of the puzzle. And also how we can expect the future to unfold within all these assets, right? So first of all, I'm starting with the euro, and I'll get to that in a second as to why. Now, we're in basically the last move of wave 2. Wave 2, which started, right after the GFC. The GFC in the euro was wave 1 down, okay? So I reckon that there's definitely going to be a massive crash in the euro, and what I believe is going to happen is a lot of things are going to flow into the US dollar soon for many reasons. So the first step is this is wave 2. Red means wave C. So wave C's are pretty insanely crazy. They can crash pretty hard. So this is what I believe is what's left of wave 2 of wave C before we see a massive onslaught. Now, we still need to see A, B, C, D, E, and 5. So this is what I believe is left. When is it going to end? It could be the end of the year, potentially, right? Something like that. Okay, now let's just leave that there for a moment. I don't want to get too carried away on one particular chart because I have a lot to cover. Okay, so let's go to the weekly chart just so you can see, first of all, how I see this C wave about to unfold. You have a 1, A, B, C, D, E, right? When you get these lovely C, D, E's, they tend to basically create like a zigzag pattern. In a lot of cases, this can make you think many different things, like a 1, 2, and then you get the surprise when you realize it's not going to continue. Also, some people can think it's a zigzag, whatever. To me, it's a CDE, and I have many reasons why that is. If you've been following me, you'll understand how I look at the waves. Now, in a correction, I don't believe there's just a zigzag. A zigzag alone is not a correction. A 5-wave move alone is not a correction. So all these clues help me to basically put together the picture of what we're seeing. Now, why would suddenly everything go into the USD? Okay, let's go to the Dow Jones. Okay. Now, don't know if you've seen this chart before, but this is I'll go to the monthly actually so you can see it better. This is what I believe is happening in, sorry, one sec, I'm getting a bit of technical difficulties here. There we go. The Great Depression was a wave A, zigzag, and what I believe this is now is a type 2 expanded B wave, zigzag, right? So what I'm thinking that this is going to do next is top out and then create this massive collapse, which is a CDE, right? And this will basically retest a long-term trend line that's been occurring for hundreds of years, but it's also going to coincide with something else as well. Okay, now before I move on to the next chart, you just have to understand red means C wave, D means blue means a D wave, and purple is the E wave. Okay, Now, just say this does happen. I expect the bounce to be quite insane. Okay. Like, I mean, insane, like something like this. Okay. Right. Now, you may think, well, why such a straight line? Because what I believe, what we're seeing here is, so this being wave one. Okay. Now, I could be wrong. This could be just a wave of a giant zigzag, right? But I doubt it. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. For now, let's just pretend this is a 1 and a 2. It could be an A and a B zigzag. If you know how I look at zigzags, the B wave in between consists of A, B, C, D, E. Okay, let's just get that out the way. And it don't have to be in triangular shape. Okay, that's just price action consolidating. All right, price action can go all over the place. You can have expanded corrections and all of the above. Okay, so one, end of wave two, bang. I believe this is going to be a result of hyperinflation. And the reason for that is because what's happening at the moment? A lot of money printing. Okay, we know that much. This thing will top out soon, I believe, my opinion only. And then once we hit the top, I believe this is going to coincide with the top also in other assets such as Bitcoin and real estate, stocks, the whole lot. And then people are going to cash out. Okay, they're going to decide, okay, we're cashing out now. Right. Now, where do I think that's going to go into? I believe that's going to go into the US dollar. Right. And because it goes into the US dollar, that's going to create that's going to make the US dollar go up dramatically. And that's where we get the wave C. Okay. Now, does this mean that we're going to get wave CDE in the US dollar to the upside? I don't know. I can't tell you that much. I'm going to have to track it as it comes because I just think that's getting a bit too crazy. I think that there's a few different things that can happen, right? It all depends how fast the USD moves, okay? And what kind of patterns it creates along the way. We're going to have to just wait and see. I do believe things can move pretty quickly, but at the same time, we've got to try and be realistic. Maybe the C wave happens during the whole move, and then something else happens after that, such as the DE on the way up. On the way down for the USD. So let's not get too ahead of ourselves. Right. Now, if this does not happen in this particular way, there is another way it could happen, and I'm just going to mention it here because I think that it's important to understand that, I don't know everything, and have a look at the past. See how this CDE happened, right? Because within a B wave, there's an ABC. And look at how this expanded to the upside. Okay, you had A, B, C, D, E. See how the CDE was up the top there, created the .com bust, 9/11 in there, and some other things. The D wave bubble and the E wave collapse. Right. So what we could see is a C to the downside, right? We could see the D to the upside, like this, and then the E to the downside, like this, maybe even below it or above it. Who knows? I don't know these things. I'm just giving you ideas here, right? So then what we could see is basically the move continue up from there, which would be a failed head and shoulders, and we'd just go up from there, right? Now, this is interesting because you've got to consider a few different things that are also going on around the place, right? Now, bond yields. Okay, let's go to bond yields for a moment. Okay, let's just save this. Go to bond yields for a moment, right? When it comes to bond yields, right, this is what I believe is going on. Okay, Now, I have long-term data to support this. I have bond yield data going back to 1100 BC, and I believe since then we saw an A, and then within the B we've seen an A and a B, and this is the B wave. Okay, the B wave, like when I say B wave, just picture like, sorry, one sec. Picture a B wave like this being the major B wave. Okay, the major one. So basically we're nearing the bottom of that. Now I don't want to put log on for this for a moment. Let's turn off the log and let's have a look at this wave structure, right? You might have some doubling there. I'll get rid of that one. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. We had a sideways wave 4. So we had a sharp wave 2 and a drawn out wave 4. And then wave 5 is an ending diagonal. So we have wave 1, A, B, C, D, E. So wave 2 of the ending diagonal is drawn out. So wave 4 of the ending diagonal should be short and sharp, right? So here we have 1, 2, 3, and then we're going to have basically what I think this is currently right now is an A wave. So I do believe we're going to see, I'll zoom in on this one because you can still see on the daily. I still believe you can see the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Barely. Well, there's the 1, there's the A, B, C, D, E. I do believe this is 3, and then we're basically seeing the A right now. We'll see the B, C, D, E, and then 3 wave for 5. That's what I believe is going to happen. Judging by the pattern, judging by the knowledge of the waves. Remember, I'm not a financial advisor, but I do believe this type of thing will happen into the top and also during the collapse. I do believe it's going to happen pretty fast, but it could be drawn out into a very small wedge before it pops to the upside in wave C, which is dramatic and should also coincide with either the C wave that's coming in the US dollar to the upside. Well, yeah, basically that. Okay, so I see multiple things converging at this point in time. Oh, well, there you had another B wave there. Anyway, so okay, so that's the bond yield side, aka interest rate side. How are we going to know when the top or the bottom is in place? Well, you've got the 2-4 trend line there, so it's popped above it. It'll go below it, and then it'll pop above it again. But once we have wave 4 in place, you could also draw the 2-4 trend line for wherever wave 4 is and have multiple areas that we need to break after we go down below it. How far we go down below it, I don't know. It may not be that much, but whatever it is, at least this is the idea that I have with the bond yields. So what is it going to mean once that pops up through the roof? Well, it's what I believe will be driving the markets in general, and that's hyperinflation. Okay. Now, let me explain why I believe that's going to be the case. Okay. So once we reach the top, people start selling. They're going to sell stocks, right? They're going to sell stocks. They're going to sell their Bitcoin, most likely, because as I've explained to you, my views on Bitcoin. Hang on, I'm on the wrong chart here. Give me a sec. 1 second. Right. Okay. So this is back to my view that I had earlier. Just assume that this is going to be this particular view where we're basically going to go straight to wave 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that would be the little dip would be a C. I don't know how low this is going to go. C, D, E, 5. Okay. Now, as you know, Bitcoin doesn't like to correct down too much. Initially, it might, but then it'll pick up the slack and keep moving. I believe this is all part of what's going on, and it should happen pretty quick. So what I think is when we get to the top here, around 500,000 a coin, it could go above, could go below. I don't know. I'm just trying to give you an idea. This is my thoughts. I'm trying to bring everything together in a macro sense rather than just in a pattern sense. So you can make up your mind. I've given the 3 views on what I think Bitcoin's doing, and I've also given you the views on a few other cryptos there. You can check out those videos. I'll link them below. Okay, so that's basically in a nutshell what I think is going to happen. We're going to have like a deflationary period now. So just say, for example, this is so that this is other pieces of information that I look for. So what's the Dow Jones going to do? Is it going to go really low, like we said, or is it not? So just say, for example, what happens when you get to the end of wave 1, if this is a wave 1, by the way. I'm just working with the idea that this could be a wave 1. So firstly, we see a 3-wave move down, okay? Right, to the previous wave 4, because that's just generally what happens, right? Things usually go back to the previous wave 4. The lowest point of the previous wave 4, mind you, right? I can draw all sorts of patterns on this chart if you like. Look, I can even do like a B wave and a C. Oh, look, we have a head and shoulders pattern. Fail, move up. Anyway, let's not play that game. But I suppose what it means is that there's going to be a point in time where people are going to sell and put their profits into US dollar. In my opinion, they're going to go into US dollar, and this is what's going to drive the US dollar up. Now, we all know that the US dollar and fiat in general has lost its value in money printing, et cetera, but if you've studied some macro stuff, you'll know that it's not the money printing that causes the inflation. It's actually the confidence in the currency itself, aka the confidence in the government. Okay, so that causes hyperinflation. We haven't seen hyperinflation yet. However, once we get to the bottom, once we have that crash, once we have that, what can I say? Let's go back to the Dow Jones for a moment. Right, back to the monthly. Right, now let's say that it did go that low, and that's the 3-wave move that we see in cryptos. Explained, right? Because what else could drive crypto prices so low? I'll give you one guess. It could be a deflationary event. It wouldn't go as low as this on the cryptos, but it probably still is percentage-wise quite low. So once we get to this point, I believe everybody who has been holding on to their US dollars and flooded basically locked away and hid their US dollars, whilst the Fed keeps printing during this time, once we hit the bottom, once things start to turn up again, which could happen fairly quickly depending on how fast this collapse happens. This is obviously pretty crazy to even think about this. But you have to understand that markets move up slowly and they go down quick. So I don't know. This could be pretty sharp. It's just an idea. Don't hate on me for it. Like I said, it could go a bit higher. It could not. It might not go that low. Okay. So because the Fed is going to money print during this time, right? And the velocity of money would have fallen so much that they just keep printing, that once the market did bottom and people did think that, okay, the market's going to go up, start flooding the market with US dollars again, that would create hyperinflation, right? And that's how a lot of different macro analysts observe hyperinflation, and how it actually begins is by a flooding of money that was previously not circulating. Once that starts circulating, the velocity of money goes through the roof, hence the hyperinflation, and drives prices upward. And that's why I believe this will be the end of this correction. Wave 2 will be done. Wave 3 will start basically sending this thing to the moon, but it'll send everything to the moon, including your cryptos, including your assets, including your stocks. By the time this happens, who knows where prices will be. But like Mike Maloney and a lot of other people says, it'll be the greatest transfer of wealth in history. So I suppose it's time to prepare. buy Ripple, buy XRP, buy whatever you can at good prices. Don't buy things too expensive, and hopefully you found this video interesting and informative. Thank you for watching.